Welcome back to the Entrepreneur's Edge. I'm so happy that you're here for this mini podcast. It's going to run about 10 minutes. I'm excited to bring on my guest, Clifford Starks. Clifford, I love what you're doing. I know you have an exciting project that you're working on. And so if you would please go ahead and introduce yourself to my audience, let them know who you are, what you do, and how you serve people.
Hey, Raquel, thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, everybody. What's amazing audience? The entrepreneurial edge. I am about getting you to your edge. We're always looking to perform better, faster, stronger in life, in business, and everything that we do. And I come from an athletic background, and I took my athletic background and went into the entrepreneurial journey to support others in getting mentally sharp so that they can win in the game of life and business.
Tell us a little bit more because you're very humble about your background in athletics. He's being very humble, folks, and I'm not gonna let
Yeah,
him. We're gonna go ahead and tell them actually, what you did and your accomplishments
yeah.
because I think people
So
really, really,
I have done some really cool things on the
yes,
journey.
you have.
I fought in the UFC, Hall of Famer as well in MMA, and I was a Hall of Famer actually for my school, for football, for track, for wrestling. So I've done some really cool things on the journey, and thank you for calling me on that. And I also say I wanted to live a life worth living. And so I really focused on doing that. I wanted to live a life worth living. And I also want to support others in being love, kind, and abundant. And yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
But tell us a little bit more about your journey, how you went from, being this Hall of Famer,
Yeah.
being an amazing athlete and really stepping into the entrepreneurial space.
Yeah. So every time I step into something, I think I know it better than I do. And
Same.
right,
I think
right.
maybe all entrepreneurs are in the
I'm
same boat
like,
with you,
yeah,
man.
here we go. We're gonna do this thing. So when I got into fighting, I stepped in and I realized really quickly there was a lot that I didn't know. And I bring that up because the transition for entrepreneurship was much the same. I got into entrepreneurship. I knew that, oh, this is a way that I can make money and support my family and be free. Yay. So I jumped in with both feet in. And yeah, I learned. I learned that what at
Sink
all.
or swim, baby. Sink or swim. And if you sink, it's okay. There's probably somebody nearby who can save you a little
Absolutely.
bit.
Absolutely.
What is maybe your one or two pieces of advice that you can give somebody who is thinking about like, you know what, I just feel like I have to jump and I'm afraid to sink or swim. I'm afraid I have this fear of failure or maybe some other narratives that are happening in their head.
I had one of my clients that I spoke to, and they said something that was super powerful. Hey, no, go tell mom. Um,
Wait, pause there.
it
See how he had to take to the kids. I just want to encourage all those who have babies at home or like, bigger babies, or they always are babies, even if they're like in their teenagers. Then sometimes that stops people. They're like, I can't because, the kids are home or I'm working from home or there's always something. And so
Yep.
this is real life, folks. I don't edit. Like whatever happens, happens. This is just pre-recorded, yes, but then I don't edit except for adding
Yep.
captions. So it's easier for you. But that's really important. I'm glad that happened because a lot of times that happens right with our clients where they're just like, but I have a family. I don't know how to, what if something happens? What if tech happens?
Yep.
What if they walk in? Just go with the
Yep.
flow. It's okay. It's okay. Anyway, so go ahead. Your client was saying
Yeah.
something
No,
really
I love that.
powerful.
And I say, what do you desire? And then learn to listen. What do you desire? And learn to listen. Um, and so one thing that I do know, my desires are my North Stars. They help me go in the direction that I'm looking to go. And as I go towards something, just like a fighter learns to punch and learns to kick, an entrepreneur who learns to listen really closely to the things that matter versus the things that don't matter is what's going to make their life so much easier as they go through this process.
Do you find like, is there like a commonality now that you bring that up about the things that don't matter that people are listening to, especially as they're thinking about or stepping into this space? that you're seeing with your clients? Is there like a commonality, some things that they're, it just doesn't matter, but we kind of get into our own inner critic and
Yeah,
it goes
yeah. Like
like,
we want to like even with what I'm saying, learn to listen. There's going to be entrepreneurs who have gone through the process and they get that. They'll get it instantly. Someone just starting would be like, learn to listen. What do you mean by that? Well, just start with your desire first.
yeah,
Just start with your desire. I think too often we have to have a reason to why we're doing what we're doing, and we forget that we're reason enough.
oh, come
Like
on.
we're reason enough.
Say that again.
Yeah. Yeah. We are reason enough. If we want something, go after it
Mhm.
because life is you're going to live and you're going to die. That I know for sure. So if that's going to happen, do what you want to do in between all of that.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good. And I know that you have an exciting project. I want to give you some time to talk about that. And I actually want to ask you some questions about your process. But go ahead and
Yeah.
tell us about this amazing project that is being released around the end of January 2025.
Yeah. Yeah. So I am publishing a book, The Fighter's Formula, Winning the Game of Life. And ultimately, there is a winner in every single one of us when we, and here's what's really cool, when we ask ourselves the right questions and take the right actions, we figure out what winning is to us. And so it's a series of how do you align your mind, how do you align your heart, how do you align your skill sets in a way that you can really, really win your game of life.
Really good. And what was the inspiration for you to go ahead? Because there's so many people, and I really believe that people have at least one book in them. And it's just one of those things that, once we put it out there, it can really bless generations. And you might be thinking, bless generations. Yes, because if one person's life is transformed by reading it because they take one thing away from it, now that's going to transform their family and so on and so on. I mean, and then you have a multiplier, each one
Yep.
teach one. So
Yep.
you can literally be changing the course of generations through sharing your experience, your expertise, your insights, your stories, the funny things and not so funny things that we've been through. So what was the inspiration for you to write this book?
My big inspiration was people deserve the foundations and people deserve the foundations from me in my own unique voice, my own unique way of seeing the world, my own unique love for people. Like and so as I was creating it, uh I realized just how simple things can be, but also how complicated we can make them. And I'm talking to myself, like I'm literally preaching to the choir. I am that person who sometimes I'll overcomplicate something. And I got to
Yeah.
check my own book out and go like, okay, which questions should I ask myself? Or here's the one.
I know, right? It's like, Doctor, heal yourself.
Yep, yep.
And we have another minute or so. I would love for you to maybe share a little bit about your process. How was your process of writing for those people who are thinking, oh, I really want to step into that. I really want to, they have a thing in their heart this year. We're encouraging you this year,
Yep.
write your book. And if you can just give them maybe a couple of insights or words of encouragement around the process, that'd be great.
Yeah. There's a saying, every master was once a disaster. And so
I've
it,
never heard that. I always said it
yeah,
was an apprentice. I
it's
like that
cool,
one.
isn't it?
That's
Yeah,
that's more accurate.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And so as I go through the journey, I ask myself, who do I want to be and how do I want to show up? And I don't always know the answers, but I do know this. When I speak it out, the answers start revealing themselves. So I go, okay, whatever I'm thinking, I'm gonna 10x that or 100x it. Like what would the perfect world look like to me? What does that look like? And if it's writing your book, if it's building a business, if it's creating the life of your dreams for your husband, for your wife, for yourself, it all starts with you anyway. So every time you go after something really, really big, you're going to learn a lot about yourself. You're going to learn what you can do, what you can't do, how to do things in a certain order, or even better. And so I go, everything has order. So figure out the first step would be figure out who has done what you're looking to do. If you're looking to do something, go around those who have already done it. Don't go talk to people who have never done it, because they will have a bunch of opinions that mean absolutely nothing. Trust me on that one. Trust me.
And it really goes back to what you said in the beginning about like then doing things that don't matter because now you're getting advice from people who've never been there. It
Yeah.
might sound like wise counsel, but if you want to learn from our mistakes so you can make your own. So
Yep.
find a coach,
Yep.
find a mentor, find somebody, and you learn from their mistakes. And that's really like the best way to learn, not the school of hard knocks. That somebody else went to that school and then it's telling you,
Yep.
don't fall for that pit. It's a trap, dude. It's a trap. This was so great. Tell us how my audience can connect with you, find you, and learn more about you. What's the
Yeah,
best?
absolutely. And Raquel, I want to say thank you again for having me on. I really appreciate that. But the best way to find me is on Facebook or LinkedIn under Clifford Starks. And I used to give out my email, but I'm kind of hard to reach on email. So on LinkedIn, on Facebook, because I like producing a lot of content and giving a lot of value on those platforms. But that's where you could reach me.
Awesome. And now I have everything you need to know about Clifford and his book down below in the show notes. It was so great to have you here on the Entrepreneur's Edge. I really appreciate it. Is there anything else you wanted to share before we close out?
I want to say again, I really like the title of your like the entrepreneurial's edge is huge. And I knew the first time we met that there was just something about you that I absolutely loved. And what I want to share with the audience is go around people that you love being around, because life's just too short going around people you really don't like.
Amen. Remember, like the little rascals used to watch, and how? Yes, because life is too short, right? I blink. I'm in my 50s now. I'm like, how did I get here?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 100%.
Thanks again for being here. And thanks for all of you who are here on the Entrepreneur's Edge. Until next time, may God's riches and best be yours. Bye for now.
Thank you.